All right, and we are back. All right, cool. Frey on the fibs. We are looking at charts because there is a lot to see, especially in uranium. So we're looking at UU energy fuels on the monthly chart. And if you look at the monthly chart, you'll see that we had a big bottom that came in about what is this 2016 to 2018. Had a nice move up, then the next move down, and 2020 around the COVID times looks like a double bottom. Been coming up since then. The RSI kind of came to the lows. We also had another significant low on the RSI down to about 40 in March of 2025. Then had a big move up, and then a nice, looks like an A, B, C correction right there. Again, we're looking at a monthly chart, so there's a lot going on here. That correction over here, if we're looking at the date, topped out at about October of 2025. And if this RSI is near a bottom or maybe gives us some upward move up, that will be July of 2026. So about a year window. Looks like on the RSI potential A, B, C correction. And I always like to play with Fibonacci to see if it gives me anything with these. Interesting. I have an opposite position that I opened up on UUU at about 15 bucks. Well, actually like 15.32. So I'm up a little bit higher. I'm still in the red, of course, because all, options with gamma and data and all that crazy shit. I typically don't trade options. But because it's a long dated option out to like 2028, and I don't foresee energy fuels being in this range at a $3 billion market, $4 billion market cap for the next 2 years. I can see a lot of leg room on this thing. Only thing I'm looking at is if I'm going back to this chart and I'm looking at get rid of this guy here. I'm just playing around down there. So let's get back to this chart, the chart at hand. So I know there's a lot going on here. This big block over here is our VPVR volume indicator, but just on the areas on this chart that tend to have the most volume. You see we have a big base down here. As we zoom in and go to the weeklies and the daily, that chart will become even smaller. But for right now, you can see, and I like to use the line chart so that way, because I have a lot of shit going on, so the line chart helps me see what's happening here. And so with this, I have my Fibonacci. I always love my Fibonacci on the monthly. This might actually be a 2 week. Yeah, 2 week. All right, so I have my swing low, swing high, and swing low. And I think I did this. I like to do this with the RSI. See the RSI back in 2008, the big bottom. Went up again. This was the high. That was the second Fibonacci. And then somewhere down here was the bottom. So that's like a big Fibonacci. And it's actually a Fibonacci off the RSI. So that's your swing low, swing high, swing low. Let's delete it and do it so everybody can see. All right. We have our swing low right here. Then I swing high. I don't come on top of it because I can't see. So I come to the side. Gives me some room. And then we have our bottom down here, and we drag it out, give ourselves the roadmap with our Fibonacci extension. And I know some people don't like Fibonacci extensions. I've seen them work out a little bit too much for me to just ignore. So anytime I see a chart and I see divergence, especially divergence on RSI, like we have a high and then a low, then we have a low, and then a little bit of a high, big divergence like that. That tends to work out and be a good way to set up a Fibonacci. So anyway, all right, back to this chart. Outside of our Fibonacci that we have on the higher time frame, we also got this arc right here. A lot of commodities I think are going through a bottoming pattern, or just kind of like bottoming out. And I've noticed that we have a lot of arcs, and a lot of commodities have gotten to the point where they kind of had these bottoms around 2016 to 2020. And, big move up. Everything went crazy 2020. Kind of been going sideways on energy fuels. And I remember this area here. Let's zoom in. get a weekly look on this consolidation area. And this consolidation area, if I'm not mistaken, ended with the Trump tariffs. So the Trump tariffs got the market down. They was trading at about $7. I bought a bunch of 5. Then I started doing some short-term trading, took some money, moved some money around, and was not paying attention to UUU, and missed this beautiful buy at $3.20. And going back to the arc, excuse me, I'm jumping all over the place. We have a blue arc. Price hit the arc here, price hit the arc here, and price hit the arc here, giving me stronger confirmation that this arc might be very relevant. And with that being said, I want this to go up to the 618 because that's my target. But I do know that the arc is here, and if we bottom out, could be May 2027, and take our time going up this. You know, these are the moves you want to catch. When it kisses that bad boy, that's what you want to buy. I'm hoping for a move up, but I do know that there is a chance that this thing could even come back and retest the arc. So I am mindful. And if if uranium itself starts to look a little bearish, then I'll be closing out. And also, we had a big consolidation here, and when we took off, we kind of just took off, and we didn't check back in with the pivot that 0.76 and 0.618. That area is crucial, and for us to break out and not come back and retest is very interesting to me. So I am mindful of that. I'm wondering even if this was just an A, B, C move down, that we get a correction to the upside, and this thing fail and come back and retest this all of this areas that needs to be, you know, come back and retested for support. I am mindful that this could go up and then come back down and retest. So yeah, I am optimistically cautious. No, I'm optimistic, but I'm very cautious anyway. So yeah, so let's delete that. Yeah, so we have our arc here that we're looking at, and another thing. So this consolidation pattern that bottomed out during the COVID bottom, you'll see that it also gave us a nice little parallel channel, and we broke out of that channel, and now we're in another one. Does this channel, you know, come all the way up here? Does it break out? Does it come down? Do I get a nice move up only to receive with move down? I don't know. The measured move, depending upon where it breaks out, should be the size of this pattern. So, you know, it could break out here, who knows, but we'll see whenever it does break out. I would love for it to run up to that 618 before we have some kind of big consolidation, because I do think uranium as a whole should be bullish, maybe towards the end of this year into 2027. And why am I saying that? Because of the uranium chart itself. Let's go take a look at uranium itself. But last thing I want to do before I jump, before I hop, I don't want to hop back into this. Anytime you have a big move up, you're going to have sideways consolidations, which is a correction. Sometimes it could be very, very long, or it could be really, really quick. And what I'm hoping that this is in, because we did get divergence on this guy here. Hold on. If you look here, you'll see we had a on the RSI. This was our opportunity to get out of UUU. Once you saw this high and this higher high, then that high and that lower high, that was your divergence and your sign to get the F out of Dodge. But now that I have those, I'm going to run a Fibonacci. So we're going to go from where? This high right here, right? That high, there's a low, and there's your high. High, there's your low, and there's your high. Again, we're on a weekly, which is, for me, a more shorter term, only because I try to stay away from day trading. All right, cool. So yeah, we're looking at high, low, high right here. And the price ran down on this weekly chart. It ran down to the 618. That's what you want to see. And it also ran into this Vegas tunnel. That's the Vegas tunnel I got from Invest with Jacob in his learning Elliott Wave basic class. He gave you a lot of tools, and this is one of the tools that I took in his class, and it has been astounding. This moving average, the Vegas tunnel. I forgot what it is. I'll show it on another video at some point. But anyway. Yeah, so with the line chart, which I respect more than wicks when it comes to crypto, when it comes to uranium, these volatile markets, I'm going to go wave chart just because those wicks are just insane. And I love the fact that price did come back and hit that 618. That's good. Now, does that mean if this move is over and we up out of here? I don't know. But again, what I am looking for is the pivots. That's an alert that I have, and the alert should fall right around here, because once we get to $17.20, that will be a retest of the pivot. And if we look left in that area, what do we see? We see a whole lot of resistance. So I don't think I mean, maybe it could bust through this area. If it did, it'd be super strong. If it did do that. But this area is an area I'm watching, because how we get there, really. Because I could see this thing maybe coming up and falling back down or whatever, and getting a retrace. So we'll see. But anyway, let's go to why I am bullish and why I do want to hold this for the duration of that contract. And that would be, let's zoom out to the monthly. That would be uranium, the uranium chart. All right, we can see uranium had a beautiful, it looks like that Bitcoin bottom from 2018. From 2016 here, had a bottom, and this was COVID. That's a beautiful ascending channel. No, not ascending triangle, sorry, excuse me. So yeah, you have your higher lows, you had your trend line. What a beautiful fake out right there. Give you one more. Because you were thinking, oh man, maybe some kind of head and shoulders pattern. Nope. It's an ascending triangle. Ascending triangle, the breakout went crazy. When was this breakout? That was COVID. COVID took uranium from $27 up to 105. 105 in December of 2023. And we've kind of been, correcting a little bit. So again, I know it looks busy in here. In this box that we're in, it's pretty much, I'm assuming or hoping that we have a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. So this box is measuring the time and duration, how long it took for us to get out of this box before we fell down. Took that same box and put it on the right shoulder, and we're close. We're close, So it's been interesting watching this thing play out in here. It looks like it's really bullish, and this box is just trying to contain it, but that's just me. I look at charts more like art than I do science. Again, if this is a shoulder, if we have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder over here, that was our bottoming pattern down there. It's in a triangle. But if we do have a shoulder, head, shoulder, and how you measure this move is you take it from here to here, and then you come to the point where it breaks out, which could be somewhere up here, and it gives you your target to the upside. As you can see, I already got one that I put down here. So yeah, that is $500 uranium, which sounds crazy, but this thing has been held down by restraints for a while. So I do think if we break this head and shoulder pattern, it would be in a crazy bullish move to the upside. So we'll see. And we also, that Ellie wave pattern that I just had on here, it came from where? I'd love to find my Fibonacci extension off of divergence. So we have a high right here in this RSI, then a low down here in this RSI. We have a high right here, high, and then a lower high. Bang, bang, boom, boom, divergence, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go from the bottom of this divergence here, go to the top, and then go down to that one. And I look at it like football. That's our red zone. Once you get out the red zone, you have no business being back in there. So if uranium is bullish and we're not going to break this area, so what I'd like to do on these red zones, when I make my Fibonacci red zones, I always set an alert. The minute we start breaking that, we have some problems. All right, cool. All right, but anyway, again, this is all technical analysis. Technical analysis is subject to change. This thing could come down and retest and go side by, whatever. Anything could happen, and I'm very aware of that. It's just that I like setting up these roadmaps because when they work nice, and a lot of times you'll backtest and be like, wow, if I just saw that red zone and I was able to get in somewhere down here, that ride up would be smooth sailing. Only because once you start getting to these fib levels, you're going to start seeing contraction and consolidation and you might buy high, and all of a sudden the price goes down on you, and you get nervous. The lower you buy, like I don't want to buy anything in this area. That's just too high. Like I like getting in down here, and if I get lucky and I stay within the red zone, then now it's all smooth sailing. You know, like if I get like 5 or 6 contracts, I have positions where I can offload. Again, I just talked about the pivot, the 764-618. This area right here is very, very big. It's important. We want to watch that area. So when price breaks out, we want to respect that. That's when I can say, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll offload. And if we're looking at our head and shoulders pattern, look how price just kind of, has confluence with this. So I'll definitely probably offload a few shares of UUU if uranium makes it up to about 116, 115, because I'm expecting maybe a little bit of consolidation before the next big move. But when we break out of that area, oh man, it's on a pocket. And even if you're looking at this Fibonacci, let's do a new for my little templates. Some good potential on that thing to maybe take us up. Let's go to the 2-week chart. We'll see. But if you do have contracts and this thing goes crazy like in the next year or so and you're in this area, but I would have to expect some kind of crazy bull market in uranium and commodities if we end up somewhere in this area in the next 3 to 4 years. But yeah, we'll see. So yes, this is why I am bullish on uranium. This head and shoulders pattern here. This is the chart. We are looking at 2 weeks, weeklies, monthlies. Every now and then I'll venture off into the daily, but this is the slow burn channel. We the slow rollers over here. All right, what else do I want to look at? I'll look at some more uranium charts another day, but I just wanted to sit down and let you guys know what I'm seeing on the UUU chart. Again, we're looking at this arc. We see move up, consolidation, crazy up, consolidation, crazy up, maybe a little consolidation and one more move up, maybe. Target be $55. And if I'm looking at the arc is telling me by January, if this arc holds price, we should see UUU at about $55 January, February of 2029 or somewhere in that area. No, I'm sorry. January 30, excuse me. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Uranium.